and welcome to Disney Makes Coloring. If you're new here, my name is Megan and I'm so excited to be here with you today. So for today's video, I thought I would do a beginner's, kind of like a beginner's guide of what they would need to start out if they're wanting to join the coloring community. This was a video I wish I would have found when I first started, type of video I could have found. I didn't, because instead I just jumped in and I bought everything thinking I needed everything, but you don't need everything. So I thought I'd go through some of the things that I think would be a good place to start in the coloring community. I'm going to start with the books first, and I thought of a few different illustrators or publishers that would be good and they're inexpensive for beginners because you don't know what you will like to color. Some people, like to color very detailed things. Some people don't. Some people like McDonald's. Some people like mandalas. Some people don't. Some people like patterny pages. Some people like realistic pages, different things. So I picked out a few that I had in my collection. Now, one I don't have is the realistic. I'm not a fan. I'm more of a fantasy, cutesy person, but I like to color. But, so I don't have an example of that. Well, I might have something here. But anyway, so I'm going to start with the books. So one of the first illustrators I think is the best for a beginner and for anyone is Camelia Angelkova. She has a whole series. It's a miniature series, and she has one for every season, for every holiday. She has even an ocean one. She has a safari, a jungle. This is a farmer's one that I have here. And they're really simple, easy to color illustrations. So just in case, you may not like, things with lots of detail, this is a good one to start with. This is one I need to color this month. Let's see, I know I've colored some in here. See, like here, I've colored that one. And you can use pencil or marker in it. If you do use alcohol marker, you make sure you put a paper behind it because they do bleed through. Water-based markers, I would put a paper behind it anyway, but they don't usually bleed through, but we'll get to that. So Camelia Angelkova has books like this, but she also has mandala books. And she has some regular mandalas, and then she has some mandalas that I don't consider mandalas because they have like her cute little animals or whatever in the middle. I don't have one of her mandala books. I do want to order one to see if I like it. But for one that I have that's similar, this is a different illustrator, and this is my first mandala book actually since I joined the community, and it's a brand new book. This is by Alexandra Franzese. She's another good illustrator, and this is what I mean by cutesy mandalas. It's like pictures of things, not like patterns. It's the patterny mandalas that I don't really care for. So Camelia Angelkova also has mandalas like this, but I was going to give you about her price ranges. And for her miniatures, I just looked it up, and this is Amazon US. I don't know what it is anywhere else. But for here in the US, the miniatures books range anywhere between $4.99 and $5.99. And that is also on her mandala books. And that's probably one of the cheapest you're going to find out there. The book I did just get, the new Ollie colors that I reviewed on my channel. I'll put that in the eye in the sky. They're also $4.99, which is a good price. I think. Especially if you're a beginner, you don't want to spend a lot of money on a coloring book if that's not going to be your cup of tea, if that makes any sense. Another good illustrator, and they're pretty inexpensive, and they have a range of everything, is Jade Summer. She has a range of cutesy, like this, holiday books, seasonal books. She has realistic, I don't know if it's just she, it's actually just a publishing company. It's a bunch of different artists. She has more realistic ones. She has mandalas, or they have mandalas, they have patterns, and their books range anywhere from $5.99 to $7.99. And then she also has compilation books where she has different books where they're all, she'll have like 4 books in one that you could get. That way you can try different things, but usually they're kind of similar books. And I actually think she might have best of books too. These are this is one of my first coloring books I got when I started this community. And I started a year from now, exactly. So end of September, beginning of October. So you can see, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I didn't shadow very much. You know, I learned. But these books too, now both of these are Amazon printed, and so they are CreateSpace paper, which is kind of like regular copy paper. So it's not the best paper, but it doesn't bother me. I know it bothers a lot of people, but it does not bother me at all. And you can use pencils, markers, but like I said with the markers, make sure you put a backer page behind, because as you can see, it bleeds through. So this is also by Alexandra Franzese, is actually the illustrator on this book. But so Jade Summer, like I said, that's another one. Another one is Coco Wyo. They have a wide variety also, like Jade Summer. And this is a publishing company. And they have everything too. From realistic to cutesy animals. This is Chibi Girls, which seems to be really popular in the coloring community. I have not colored in it. I'm a little bit intimidated by the eyes and how I would do the eyes. I need to figure that out. But, oh, I did do one. Look at there. I did not tell the truth. Did this one for presents. I think it was for a prompt. But it's really cute. This is a Chibi Girl one. And I have a couple different ones. And then, so these are physical books. And the price range for these are anywhere from $6.99 to $12.99. And I do not believe, I'm going to see if it's got double pages. No, it doesn't. Some, you'll need to find out, some books come and you get 2 sets of pictures. So if you don't like that, I don't know. I'm on the fence, because if you mess it up, then you have a second one. I don't know. But another way you can get a coloring book, if you don't want to order on Amazon, you have a printer at home, and then you can print it on whatever paper you want, are PDF coloring books. And I find mine on Etsy. Some illustrators have their own websites, like Chris Reiniak. He's one of, I like his work. And his is bindlewood.com. I'll put that down below. But this is Etsy. I like to get all my Hannah Lynn. She's another illustrator. I like to get all of her books on Etsy. And I like to get them as PDFs. And hers are, you know, more detailed. And she has 2 different ones. So you get doubles. You have one that's, some of her books, one's more of a far away and then a close-up. But then other books, one is more detailed and the other one is more simple. I don't know if that makes any sense. I buy these, I think they're called portfolio books. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. And this is one that holds 60. I think they go all the way up to 80. This is a 60 page. So I put 2 of her books in one of these. So this one particular has the Whimsy Girls at Work, and then it has the Halloween one. The Enchanted Halloween. one. And I like how she has the little thumbnails in the front of all the books so you can see what's inside. But this is another one where it's far away and then a close-up. But some of her newer books, I noticed she's doing, like, one is detailed and the second one is, like, the background is more detailed, and the second one it's more of a plain background. For those of you that don't like the really detailed pictures. So those are books. Oh, prices. So I looked the Hannah Lynn, the PDF books, they range around $8.95, and that is US dollars. I don't know what they are and anything else, but in the US, that's what they are. And she also sells her own physical books on Etsy. They are, I believe, a little bit more expensive than Amazon because you can get her books on Amazon, but they're Amazon printed. And if you get her books on her, I believe she does it in better paper, but don't quote me on that because I've never really actually bought one. But yeah, so the next thing I was going to talk about was what kind of pencils. Now, the cheapest pencils you can get, and a good way to start to see if you like, but they're not always, they're not very smooth pencil, is Crayola. They have 100 set, and they even have 120 set, and then they have smaller sets. The 100 set on Amazon, I just looked it up, is $17.99, and the 120 set is $27.99. That's pretty cheap, but I actually have some that are better quality pencil that are even cheaper, and I was going to show you those. The first set I have, now there's only 72 colors, but these are the Artix, A-R-R-T-X pencils, and they are only $25.99 on Amazon US, and they are very soft. They are similar color names to the Prismacolors. I really like them. I do wish there were a little bit more colors, but you can, you know, put two colors together to make other colors. But these are much softer than Crayola's. They blend really well. I recommend these for a good beginner set. That way you can get a feel of what a good color pencil feels like. Because most expensive pencils, well, none of them feel like Crayola's. Crayola's is a very hard lead. It's not soft like these. These are a lot more similar to Prismas. And Prismas are my favorite, but they are a high-end brand. Another brand that I recommend that are also soft are the Brutfuner Squares. These come in a set of 120, and they are $28.88 on Amazon US. They are more of a square pencil. They also have a very soft lead. I really, really like these. These both are two of my favorites. So for budget sets, that's what we call them, budget sets. These are two of the best, I think. Another brand is Kalour, K-A-L-O-U-R. I do have that brand also, and they are a good brand, and they have bigger sets for less of a price than some of the larger sets. Like the 180 Kalours, they are $37.98. And then there's also a 240 set. There might be some smaller sets, but I'm not positive. I have the 240 set and I have one of their original sets. They're not as good. The 240 set, it has like a lady on the front of the tin. They all come in tins, so you know, not these. These are pencil cases that you can find on Amazon, and they range in all different prices, depends on the size. I saw one, but that was on the early Prime Day, was $11.99, and that was for the 72 count one. They go anywhere from, I would say, probably $12 all the way up to as much as maybe $30, depending on the size. Some, you know, there's leather ones or fake leather. Like this is kind of this one's a faux leather. But it keeps your pencils safe. I like them. And then I'm starting to label them. As you can see, I haven't finished that. So that's pencils. The next thing I was going to say is that's nice to have for starting is there is alcohol markers, and then there are water-based markers. I know that's confusing, but they are totally different when you color with them. Alcohol markers, for number one, they bleed through. So if there is a double-sided picture, like in this book, for example, it's double-sided. I have a page saved. So there's one page in the front and one on the back. You would not want to use alcohol markers on it because it will bleed through and ruin the page on the back. So water-based markers are okay if you're a marker person, or gel pens. Gel pens also are good. They don't bleed through. Well, they do if you push too hard. Yeah, that's another story. But I personally, in these types of books, I like to use colored pencils. And that's just me. Not everybody, a lot of people don't like colored pencils. So some of the brands I'll start with alcohol markers. If I'm talking too fast, I am so sorry. I recommend 2 brands for budget brands. The first brand I recommend is Ohuhu's, and they come in all different size sets. You can get, I think the smallest set I saw was 48 with a good range of colors, and that one is $31.99. I have the 216 set. It's the Honolulu set, so it's got a brush tip on one end and the fine tip on the other. You will notice though that this is very rare. Most alcohol markers come with either a brush tip and a chisel tip, or a fine tip and a chisel tip. But the 216 Honolulu Ohuhu set does come with the brush and the fine, which I prefer. You know, everybody's different. Some people like the chisel. It's not my favorite. I'm getting used to it. So I said the 48 set is $31.99, but the 216 Honolulu set, it ranges about $169. So they can be expensive, but trust me, they are a lot cheaper than Copics. Copics are the brand to get. They are refillable. These are not, which is sad. Ohuhu, if you watch this, you need to make refillable alcohol markers. The next set, this was my first set, my first ever alcohol marker, and I like them, are the CaliArt alcohol markers. And like I said, so this one has the CaliArts. This is a set of 100, and you have the fine tip, and then you have, this is the chisel tip. So if you didn't know what I was talking about by chisel tip, this is what a chisel tip looks like. And they come, I don't know what sizes, but this is the 100 markers, and these are cheaper than the Ohuhus. So for 100 colors, it's $31.99. But you only get the fine tip and they call it the broad tip, but I call it the chisel tip. Now you'll notice though, the brush ones, and that's probably why these are more expensive. Any brush tip alcohol marker I'm noticing are more expensive than the ones that don't have the brush tip, if that makes sense. Some other ones out there that I like and recommend, there's Arctics. I do like those. And now I am noticing that every brand bleeds differently. And what I mean by bleeding is you have to color, and I'm going to do a video on that for you guys. I think I'm going to start a beginner series. I know I said I'm going to start an organizing series, and I'm also going to start a beginner series. But you have to color like a little bit away from the line, because once you color, it continues to bleed. And it will bleed out over the lines, and that annoys me. But some alcohol markers bleed more than others. I feel like the Arctics ones bleed the most out of all of them. The Cali Arts bleed the least. I have the Teo trees, which are newer to me. Let me show you those. These are skinny ones. So as you can see the difference, you see, I'm gonna move this. Let's put it on a solid color. So as you can see, these ones are a lot bigger, fatter than the Teo trees. But you get 100 colors on the Teo trees, and it's only like $25. But they're skinny. They do not last very long, which these last okay, but if you color a lot, you'll go through them really fast. These come with a fine tip and a chisel tip, and these bleed over the lines really easy also. Other sets, Target, if you don't shop on Amazon, Target has their own alcohol marker brand. They are Mondalama. I got a set of 40, I think it was 40, a set of 40, and it was $25, but they're not very good. Number one, the color does not match the lid at all. I was kind of sad. But this is how the Teo trees, this is how most of the Amazon, they come in a black bag like this, and you got them. Now this is a tip for these markers, have been told that you should store them on their side. So I have all mine stored on the side, not to store them up and down like this, because then all the ink settles down at the bottom. And this way, that's what I'm guessing. It's just something I have been told. I guess I should research that. I'm not a professional, and I've only been doing this a year, but I thought this video would be a good idea, because I wish I would have watched a video like this when I first started. So those are alcohol markers. Now water-based markers, let me grab those to show you. The best water-based markers, well, by far, are called Tombows, but those are expensive. So since we're just starting out as beginners, let me show you a Tombow marker. Tombow markers look like this. So they have a brush tip on one end and a fine tip on the other. They come in about packs of 6, and they're usually probably the cheapest is like $20. Sometimes you can find them on sale at Michael's. But yeah, but for beginners, for water-based markers, I think the best ones are the Crayola Super Tips. They are actually a really good water-based marker. I like them a lot. They don't have color names on them. I had to number them myself. I just used a Sharpie. But I also, you can get number stickers too, I've seen. These come in a set of 100. And they are, I looked it up for you all, on Amazon US, $15.99. But you can also get these sets at, like I said, Walmart, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Target. Sometimes you can even buy Super Tips at the grocery store. But especially Michael's, you could use a coupon and get them for really cheap. That's a good plan. I also have in here these are called Pipsqueaks, and they're little markers. It's the same tip as the Super Tip. They're just little markers. They're just so cute. I actually got them for their cuteness. I have used them though. They are very much like the Super Tip, but they won't last very long. So that is water-based markers. I have some others, but this is beginners, so I'm thinking if you're starting, I would get a good cheap set of any of these. So that way you can test them all and see what you would prefer before you buy something that's really expensive. Because what if you don't like it and then you're wasting your money? I don't know if that makes sense. I hope I'm being helpful. So my next is my gel pens. I prefer glitter gel pens. They are smoother to me for some reason than the others. My favorite glitter, like if all you want to color with is glitter gel pens, like it's not for accents or anything on your pages, my favorite is this brand. It's AAN Art. And you get a set of 100, and it's only $24.99 on Amazon US for a set of 100 colors, and they're all glitter. They don't have names on them. I wrote on the lids with Sharpies. I numbered them because I don't know if you saw, my last video was my swatch binder organization. I like to swatch all my things so I see what colors I have. Another set that I have that I do like, and these come with both, I lost one, here it is. These come with both, actually the set I got had glitter, regular, metallic, pastel, and these are, the brand is Tan Mint. And these are numbered. So you don't have to number them yourself. I just pulled two out so you can see. Let's see if you could see it's Tan Mint and the number is on the lid. And this is one of the metallics. That's what the M stands for. It's M08. And I looked these up, and for a set of 80, it's $24.99. Now it will say it's a set of 160, but you need to know that that means you're getting 80 actual pens, and then you're getting 80 refills. So when you're looking for gel pens online, know that most of them, not the AAN Art, they do not come with refills. But the Tan Mint ones, if it says 160, you're not getting 160 different colors. You're getting 80 different colors and then 80 refills, which is nice because I have used those refills. So that is gel pens. So I'm going to close this. So the next thing is accessories that I think are good to have when it comes to coloring. And one of them is a brush. Especially if you're a pencil user. So as you're coloring, because if you don't brush off, because a lot of pencils, they leave crumbs. I call it crumbs. And if you don't brush it off and rest your hand on it and keep coloring, you end up smudging that color all over your paper. And this also helps, like if you erase, to brush off the eraser. So what I recommend are makeup brushes. This one I got for like $3 at TJ Maxx. Because, yeah, it was nothing. And then this one I did get on Amazon. I couldn't find it. They don't have it anymore, so I could not find the price. But they have others. I just put in the search for large makeup brush. I like this one is bigger, and I do like it. It does work better than this one. But yes, I highly recommend if you're a pencil user, I recommend some sort of brush to brush off your pencil crumbs or your erasers, because if you use your hand and wipe it off, because your hand is oily, number one, you're getting the oils all over your page, and sometimes that color sticks to your hand, and when you go like this, then it swipes the color. Another thing I recommend if you're a pencil person is erasers. It is always good to have an eraser. This is my favorite eraser. This to me works the best. This is a Pentel high polymer eraser. These usually come in packs of 3. I believe I got these on at Michael's, but you can get them on Amazon. You can get them anywhere. Walmart, I know they have those. And then a lot of people use an electric eraser, which I do like. I do like my electric eraser. This is probably the cheapest one on there, and it is rechargeable. Most of them are battery operated. There is one, I don't have the Derwent one. That one actually is cheapest and it's battery operated. But for a rechargeable one, so you don't have to buy batteries, this AFMAT brand is about, I believe, did I write it down? I did. It's about $14 on Amazon US. $14.39 is what they are right now, and they come in different colors, and you get a bunch of refills on the erasers in different sizes, and a little brush, and then the cord, which is, I forget what this size cord. It's this, and then it's the USB on the other end. And then another eraser, and the Derwent one, which is battery operated, is $11. I don't know if I said that. This is the Tombow Mono Zero eraser, and it is really, really skinny. So to get in those little tiny small spaces, if you made a mistake or you went over the lines, I do recommend this one. It's not a cheap one, but I didn't look this one up. I'm so sorry. I don't know the price of this one, but it's the Tombow Mono Zero Elastomer eraser. And it comes with another little container with one, I believe, one extra. Here I have it. Yes. No, there's 2. 2 extras inside. So you know. Next thing I have that I thought for beginners, for accents. Now, most beginners usually aren't doing accents just yet, but I thought I would mention some of those on here now. And some of those are a white gel pen. I like to do white accents on some of my pages. Let me see. Hold on just one second. I'm going to find you an example. Okay, so this is one I did last month for September for my ABC challenge, letter P. And if you can see all the little whites, those are my white accents. And these white gel pen, if you use marker, this is alcohol marker, white gel pens work amazingly. I used my Arteza gel pen is my favorite, and this is the 1. That's the size, is a 1, and they come in a pack of 1s, 8s, and 6s. The 1s and 8s are my favorite. 6s are too small. Jelly rolls work well too, and I like the 10s and the white. And then my other one I have is Uniball Signo, and the size, I have no idea. It's in a different language. But yeah, maybe it's right here. Nope. That's in a different language too. So the Uniball Signo white one works well. Now, pencils, they work, but you do get wax on these, and so you kind of have to have a scratch paper next to you to scribble on and then come back. And then some of the colors, like especially red, it doesn't stay white, it turns pink. And I don't know if you can see right here, I'm gonna hold it up. I just did it on the orange. It started turning yellow. on the orange. But if you don't like that, which I don't, the acrylic paint markers tend to not change colors as bad, especially the Arteza acrylic markers. These come in a box of 12, so I haven't seen where you can buy just one to try it. They do come in a box of 12. I don't believe they were that expensive. I did not write the price of these down. I'm sorry. I highly recommend these. The other one is, there's Posca, which is the very popular one, and these come with different size nibs. But I don't like these. They're not my friend. These work much better for me than Posca. I don't know why Posca doesn't like me, but it doesn't. But yeah, some other accents, as you can see, there's glitter here, are some of the glitter gel pens, like the A&R you could use, or if you just want a few colors, there's the Sparkle Pops, and they are by Pentel. I'm gonna move this out of the way because you can't see it. Oops, sorry, I hit the camera. So here is the Sparkle Pops. And these come in, I believe, I'm not sure. I'm not very organized here. They come in different, oops. You get about I think there's 8 colors in here, but not all of them. The gold and silver are gold and silver. The black turns red. The green has blue in it, and so does the purple, and they both end up turning blue. And the orange turns a little bit more on the yellow side. Pink stays pink, and blue stays blue. So you know, but the gold and silver, those ones are my favorites out of the Sparkle Pops. The other ones for glitter that I really like are the Jelly Roll Stardusts. And I believe there's 10 markers in that set. I really, really like these. These I recommend more so than the Sparkle Pops. But I do like the gold and silver Sparkle Pop. And you can just get the gold and silver, so you know. Now, that's what I have as for accents for starting. Now, there's lots of different other kinds of mediums you can use for accents that people use. But this is beginning, so I'm not going to get into any of that. And I don't use all of that. Like I said, I've only been in this community for a year. I've been coloring my whole life, but I've only started in this fun community for a year. I have one other thing to show you that I think work well with colored pencils. If you're a colored pencil person, which I am, is I recommend blenders. Now, there are blender pencils, and then there are blender markers. This one is my favorite blender, and this is the Prismacolor blender, and you put on search on Amazon Prismacolor blender pencil. It'll come up. You can get them. They come in packs of 2. I just looked it up for you all, and let's see. I wrote it down. Maybe I didn't. Oh, there it is. It came for $12.97 on Amazon US. You get 4 packs of 2. So that's a pretty good price for these. So that, and then my other favorite blender for pencils is the Derwent blender pen. And you get 2. So, but these are more expensive. And sometimes Amazon is out of stock, but it comes with 2 different sizes, and this is my favorite size because usually I only use these blending on the backgrounds. And then they have a little smaller, sorry, I'm in the shadow, smaller size. But so that is what I have for you all. I can't believe I forgot pencil sharpeners. That's probably most important with colored pencils. When you're starting, if you have colored pencils, you need a pencil sharpener. These 2 are probably the cheapest ones you can get. I'm not really sure. This one came with something that I already had it, so I couldn't find it just by itself. But this is a Staedtler metal pencil sharpener. It has, you can replace the blades. I use this when my pencils get really small. Like really small. But if they're big enough, this one I use first. This is a Tegall. Get it on Amazon. This one is $8.74. It has 5 different settings from sharpest to dull. I like it on the number 3. It comes in different colors. I chose pink, of course. And yeah, this is a good one. It's the cheapest one I have out of the 4 that I have here. My next one I have is my Dahl 133. It looks like this. It's like the old school crank pencil sharpener. This black ring here, I don't know if you can see the picture. You twist it for your dullest, just twist this way, sharper your pencil that way. I wish it was numbered. That way I could tell you exactly where, because it's really hard, like if it gets messed up, to find where you had it. Yeah, that part is hard. It has, you know, the little drawer, dump your pencil shavings. It's a good pencil sharpener. And this one is, like I said, is the Dahl 133. And this one is $19.99. But my favorite pencil sharpener out of all 4 is this one. This is the Jarlink. And it is an electric pencil sharpener. It is a rechargeable one. So it's cordless. It's charging right now, which is why the light is blinking. But when it's not blinking, then you can take it. Like when I went on my fishing trip with my husband and his parents, this is what I took with me, and I never had to charge it the whole time. So it's a good pencil sharpener. It has 3 settings, 1 to 3. I like it best on 3. And I believe it comes, I got the blue one. I think it comes in black. I'm not sure what other color. But this one is $23.99 on Amazon. Now, Jarlink does have other ones. I watched both of these were recommended by Pamela's Passions for Pencils here on YouTube. This one was her favorite one, but now she's starting to use electric, so this is her new favorite. So she kind of explains a little bit more about pencil sharpeners. I'm not an expert on pencil sharpeners. I just know I like this one. It has auto stop. So when your pencil is sharpened, it stops. I do like that. I didn't know sharpeners did that until I got this one. Well, this one stops too. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway. So that's pencil sharpeners. So those were just some of the things that, if you're just starting in this coloring community, I thought this would help. You don't need to go out and buy everything. I would start small, see what you like first, because otherwise you're wasting your money and you end up getting stuff that you don't like. But then if you're like me and you want to get way involved, you do it anyway, which I did. And now I have hundreds of coloring books, and it's only been a year, and I keep buying them because I like them. And I still have a ton that I've never even touched. So I hope this video was helpful, not confusing. I feel like I talked too fast. I hope it all made sense. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. And let me know also in the comment whether or not this video was helpful for you. I'd really appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell button so you're notified when I post new videos, and the thumbs up that you liked it. And I look forward to talking to all of you again really soon. Have a good day. Bye.